Nuts are often praised as one of the healthiest snacks you can keep in your kitchen, and for good reason. They're full of protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins that can support the body as it ages. But not all nuts are created equal, and the way they're prepared makes a big difference. Salted nuts, though tasty and addictive, carry a hidden risk that becomes more important after the age of 60. The issue isn't the nuts themselves, it's the sodium that clings to every roasted, salted handful. Sodium is a mineral the body needs in small amounts. It helps maintain fluid balance, keeps muscles working properly, and even supports the nerves in sending signals. The problem arises when sodium levels rise too high. Over decades, too much salt in the diet is strongly linked with high blood pressure, also called hypertension, and after 60, the body is more sensitive to sodium because the kidneys, which filter and balance fluids, may not work as efficiently as they once did. This means extra salt can linger in the system longer, making its effects more noticeable. When blood pressure rises, the heart and arteries have to work harder. At first, this might not cause any obvious symptoms. There's no pain or sudden warning that too much sodium has tipped the balance. But over time, the strain builds quietly. High blood pressure can damage the blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney problems. That's why health professionals often call it a silent threat. For seniors who want to protect their independence, energy, and vitality, avoiding unnecessary sodium is one of the simplest but most powerful choices. Salted nuts may seem like a small indulgence, but the numbers tell the story. Just 1 ounce, a small handful of salted peanuts, cashews, or almonds can contain 100 to 200 milligrams of sodium. Multiply that by 2 or 3 servings while watching TV or reading a book, and suddenly you've added half a gram of salt without realizing it. For someone trying to keep daily sodium intake below 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams, which is the recommendation for older adults with high blood pressure, those handfuls can quickly use up a large portion of the allowance. It's not just the direct effect of sodium that matters. Salt also encourages water retention. That extra fluid can make the ankles swell, leave the body feeling heavy, and put even more pressure on the heart. Seniors who already deal with circulation issues, heart conditions, or kidney concerns may feel the difference most strongly. What feels like a simple snack is actually stirring up extra work inside the body. This doesn't mean giving up nuts altogether, far from it. The nutritional value of nuts is still incredibly beneficial, especially after 60. The key is choosing unsalted or lightly salted versions, which allow you to enjoy all the protein, fiber, and healthy fats without the overload of sodium. Over time, taste buds adjust. What first feels bland compared to salted nuts slowly reveals its natural richness. The earthy taste of almonds, the buttery flavor of cashews, the subtle sweetness of pecans. Many people discover they come to prefer the real flavor of nuts once their palate is no longer dominated by salt. Making this change also opens the door to seasoning nuts in healthier ways. A light dusting of cinnamon, a sprinkle of paprika, or even roasting them plain at home brings out flavor without raising blood pressure. The experience of eating nuts becomes not just healthier, but more satisfying, because the flavors are more varied and intentional. The small act of swapping salted nuts for unsalted may feel almost too simple to matter, but that's exactly what makes it powerful. It's not about a drastic diet overhaul or a difficult new regimen. It's a gentle shift in a daily habit, one that protects the heart, eases the load on the kidneys, and keeps blood pressure more stable. Over weeks and months, the benefit quietly builds, supporting long-term health without ever feeling like deprivation. And once this adjustment is made, it naturally raises another question. If salted nuts hide risk in their sodium, what about nuts coated in sugar, honey, or chocolate? Could sweetness, just like saltiness, be another trap in disguise? That's where we'll turn next. Nuts, in their natural form, are one of the most balanced foods you can enjoy. They carry protein for strength, healthy fats for the heart, and fiber that steadies digestion. But when those same nuts are coated with sugar, honey, or chocolate, the balance shifts. What was once a food that nourished becomes a food that drains. For seniors, especially those managing blood sugar or energy levels, candied or chocolate-covered nuts create a quiet but powerful disruption. Sugar is the main concern. Unlike the slow, steady fuel that nuts naturally provide, sugar enters the bloodstream rapidly. This sudden surge raises blood glucose in a way the body must quickly respond to. For someone over 60, whose insulin sensitivity may already be lower than it was years ago, the process is less efficient. The result is a sharp rise followed by an equally sharp crash. Energy feels unsteady, a quick burst of alertness followed by fatigue, irritability, or hunger soon after. What might seem like a small treat ends up shaping the rhythm of the entire day. Beyond energy, blood sugar spikes carry a deeper risk. Over time, frequent surges strain the body's ability to regulate glucose, which is why excess sugar is tied closely to type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Seniors who are already watching their blood sugar closely, or who take medication to manage it, may find that candied nuts quietly work against their efforts. The sweetness doesn't just satisfy the tongue, it keeps the body working harder. In the background, often unnoticed until fatigue, weight gain, or health concerns appear more clearly. Chocolate-coated nuts bring a similar problem, though the appeal is obvious. The crunch of the nut with the sweetness of the chocolate is comforting, even nostalgic. But most chocolate coatings are high in sugar and sometimes in added fats that don't support heart health. Dark chocolate in small amounts can offer antioxidants, but that benefit is quickly outweighed if the coating is thick or sweetened heavily. The difference between a single square of dark chocolate and a handful of chocolate-covered almonds is the difference between a helpful addition and a burden on the body. Honey-roasted nuts often feel healthier because honey is considered natural, but the effect on blood sugar is much the same. Natural or not, sugar is sugar. The roasting process caramelizes the honey, creating that irresistible crunch, but it also locks in added calories that provide little more than a fleeting taste. For seniors trying to keep weight steady and energy balanced, these extras work. Against the body's needs, this doesn't mean sweetness has to be avoided altogether. It means being intentional. Plain nuts, when enjoyed regularly, bring their own subtle sweetness. Pecans, cashews, and almonds all have natural notes of flavor that emerge when they aren't hidden under sugar. For those who still want a touch of sweetness, pairing nuts with fresh fruit offers a far healthier path. A small handful of walnuts with apple slices or almonds with berries provides both satisfaction and nourishment. The natural sugars in fruit come with fiber, slowing the release into the bloodstream and keeping energy steady rather than spiking and crashing. Taste buds adapt, just as they do with salt. What once felt necessary, the sugary coating, the candy-like crunch, begins to fade in importance once the body adjusts to more natural flavors. Over time, the richness of nuts themselves feels more rewarding, and the craving for sugar eases. Seniors who make this shift often find their energy more even, their digestion calmer, and their overall health more predictable. It isn't a loss. It's a return to the food as it was meant to be enjoyed. The difference may seem small, a coated nut versus a plain one, but for the body, the contrast is significant. One burdens blood sugar and energy, while the other supports stability and strength. Each choice is a quiet message to the body, either to struggle a little harder or to move more smoothly. By letting go of candied and chocolate-coated nuts, seniors don't give up the pleasure of snacking. They protect their energy, support their health, and continue to enjoy one of nature's most powerful foods in its truest form. The shift is simple, but the impact lingers in every part of daily life. And once sugar is addressed, another layer of awareness comes into focus. If salt challenges the heart and sugar disrupts energy, what happens when nuts themselves, depending on the type, become difficult for the body to digest? That's where the next step in this journey takes us. Walnuts stand apart from other nuts in a very special way. While almonds, cashews, and pistachios each bring their own benefits, walnuts are uniquely rich in one particular nutrient that becomes increasingly valuable after 60, omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are essential for the body, but unlike protein or vitamins, the body cannot make them on its own. They must come from food, and walnuts are one of the best plant-based sources available, making them an especially powerful ally for seniors who want to support brain health and memory. The brain is made up largely of fat, and omega-3 salts are part of its very structure. They help keep the membranes of brain cells flexible and strong, allowing signals to move smoothly from one cell to the next. This is what supports clear thinking, quick recall, and sharp memory. As the years pass, the brain naturally changes. Some of these changes are normal and gentle, while others, such as memory lapses or cognitive decline, can feel more disruptive. Omega-3 salts work almost like nourishment for the brain, helping it stay resilient even as time moves forward. Research has shown that diets higher in omega-3 salts are linked with better memory, less age-related decline, and even a lower risk of conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. While no food can prevent aging entirely, walnuts give the brain the tools it needs to function more effectively. For seniors, this means that something as small as a handful of walnuts each day can provide ongoing support for clarity, focus, and independence. It's not about sudden results. It's about a steady investment in brain health that adds up year after year. But walnuts don't only benefit the brain. The same omega-3 salts that protect memory also support the heart by reducing inflammation and improving cholesterol balance. Inflammation is a quiet process that, if left unchecked, contributes to both heart disease and cognitive decline. Walnuts act almost like a natural shield, calming inflammation and promoting better circulation. Better blood flow means not only a healthier heart, but also a better supply of oxygen and nutrients reaching the brain. In this way, walnuts create a bridge between heart health and brain health, two areas that matter deeply after 60. What makes walnuts practical is how easy they are to include. Unlike supplements, which can feel like chores, walnuts fit seamlessly into meals. They can be sprinkled on oatmeal, added to salads, blended into smoothies, or eaten as a simple snack. Just a small handful, about a quarter cup, is enough to deliver meaningful amounts of omega-3 salts without overwhelming calories. The flavor, slightly earthy and rich, pairs well with both sweet and savory foods, making it versatile as well as beneficial for those concerned about calories. It's important to remember that the fats in walnuts are not the kind that clog arteries or weigh the body down. They are healthy, unsaturated fats that actually help balance cholesterol. When eaten in moderation, walnuts provide energy in a form the body can use steadily rather than the quick rush and crash that sugar provides. For seniors who want both mental sharpness and steady physical energy, walnuts are a far better choice than processed snacks. Taste preference can sometimes be a barrier. Walnuts have a distinct flavor that not everyone enjoys immediately, but taste buds can adapt. Pairing them with fruit such as apple slices or grapes softens the bitterness and highlights their natural richness. Over time, the palate grows. Accustomed, the once strong flavor becomes a familiar comfort. Choosing walnuts is not about perfection or making them the only nut in your diet. It's about recognizing their unique role. Other nuts bring protein, fiber, or minerals, but walnuts carry something rarer, the kind of fat that feeds the brain directly. For seniors who want to maintain independence, memory, and confidence, that distinction matters. Each handful is more than a snack. It's a small but powerful act of self-care. And yet, if walnuts offer such clear benefits for memory and heart health, what about the other nuts that bring their own gifts? Some strengthen bones, others improve skin, and still others provide protein that sustains daily energy. Among them, almonds stand out as another must-have for those over 60. That's where the next page of this journey takes us. Almonds carry a quiet strength that becomes more important with each passing year. Among all nuts, they stand out for the way they provide two nutrients that matter deeply after 60: calcium and vitamin E. These are not just abstract nutrients. They speak directly to the body's most visible and most vulnerable areas, the bones that carry us and the skin that reflects our vitality. Eating almonds regularly is not about indulgence, but about steady protection, nourishment, and resilience. Let us begin with bones. With age, bones naturally lose density. This process is especially common in seniors, and it places many at higher risk of fractures or conditions like osteoporosis. Calcium is one of the core building blocks of bone strength, yet it is easy to fall short without realizing it. Almonds offer a plant-based source of calcium that, while not as concentrated as dairy, contributes meaningfully when included daily. A small handful of almonds may not seem like much, but over weeks and months, this steady intake reinforces the mineral structure within bones, adding layers of strength that guard against fragility. The advantage of almonds is that they do not deliver calcium alone. They bring magnesium, another mineral essential for bone health. Calcium strengthens, but magnesium helps the body use calcium properly, guiding it into the bones rather than allowing it to remain unused. This balance is what makes almonds more powerful than supplements alone. They offer nutrients in harmony, the way the body was designed to absorb them. For seniors, who often juggle medications and supplements, this natural synergy is not only convenient, but safer and easier for the body to manage. Now consider the skin. Over time, skin loses elasticity, becomes thinner, and is more easily affected by dryness or irritation. Vitamin E, abundantly present in almonds, acts as a natural protector. It shields skin cells from damage caused by free radicals, the unstable molecules that accelerate aging. In this way, vitamin E functions almost like armor, slowing the appearance of fine lines, supporting healing, and keeping skin smoother for longer. For seniors, whose skin is often more sensitive, almonds provide gentle but consistent support from the inside out. What is unique about vitamin E is its dual role. It does not only nourish skin, it also supports the immune system. This is particularly valuable with age, as the body's natural defenses gradually weaken. Almonds, by offering vitamin E in a readily absorbed form, help maintain this layer of protection. So while the visible effects may be seen in healthier skin, the invisible effects are just as important: a stronger ability to resist illness and inflammation. The act of eating almonds itself encourages mindful habits. Unlike soft or processed snacks, almonds require chewing, which slows the pace of eating and gives the body time to register fullness. This prevents overeating and supports weight management, which in turn protects the joints and bones further. The texture and crunch also make almonds satisfying, replacing less nutritious snacks without leaving a sense of deprivation. For seniors, managing appetite, digestion, or weight, this subtle shift can make daily life easier and healthier. Preparation matters. Roasted or raw almonds both carry benefits, but heavily salted or sugar-coated versions can undo the good they offer. Seniors who choose plain or lightly roasted almonds receive the full measure of calcium, vitamin E, and healthy fats without the burden of added sodium or sugar. A small handful each day, whether added to oatmeal, blended into smoothies, or eaten alone, provides steady nourishment without complication. Almonds are not a cure-all, but they are a foundation. They do not reverse aging, but they help the body age more gracefully, with stronger bones and healthier skin as outward signs of inner care. Each almond is a quiet promise that the structure holding you upright and the skin presenting You to the world are being supported by something natural, simple, and effective. But bones and skin are not the only areas where nutrition matters. Energy, digestion, and the body's overall rhythm depend on foods that keep balance steady. Among nuts, one stands out for this role, the pistachio, a small but mighty source of protein and fiber. That is where the next page of this journey will lead. Pistachios may be small, but they carry a power that is easy to overlook. At first glance, they seem like just another crunchy snack. But beneath that shell lies a nutrient profile that can make a meaningful difference, especially for seniors. What sets pistachios apart is their unique balance of protein and fiber. These two elements work hand in hand, supporting digestion, stabilizing energy, and helping the body function in a smoother, more consistent rhythm. After 60, when both digestion and energy levels often feel less predictable, this combination becomes a quiet but steady form of support. Let us start with digestion. One of the most common concerns among older adults is irregularity. Constipation can become more frequent due to slower metabolism, changes in gut bacteria, medications, or simply a less active lifestyle. Fiber is the natural antidote to this challenge. Pistachios provide both soluble and insoluble fiber. The insoluble type adds bulk to stool, making it easier to pass, while the soluble type acts like a gentle sponge, absorbing water and helping food move through the digestive tract more smoothly. The result is not only regularity, but also comfort, an aspect of health that may not often be spoken about, but deeply affects quality of life. Beyond comfort, fiber nourishes the gut itself. Deep within the digestive system lives a community of bacteria known as the gut microbiome. These tiny organisms influence far more than digestion. They affect immunity, mood, and even cognitive function. The fiber in pistachios serves as food for these beneficial bacteria, encouraging their growth and balance. For seniors, this means pistachios don't just ease digestion in the short term, they also help cultivate long-term gut health, which has ripple effects across the body. Protein is the second pillar that makes pistachios stand out. After 60, maintaining muscle mass becomes harder, yet more important. Muscles are not only for strength and movement, they also stabilize balance, protect joints, and reduce the risk of falls. Pistachios deliver plant-based protein in a light and easy-to-digest form, making them practical for daily eating. Unlike heavy meats, which can sometimes feel taxing on digestion, pistachios give protein without burden. This steady supply helps preserve muscle and supports energy throughout the day. Energy itself is another area where pistachios excel. Many seniors describe feeling sudden dips, fatigue that arrives quickly, leaving them drained. One reason for this is fluctuating blood sugar levels. Foods high in refined sugar cause spikes, followed by crashes, creating cycles of energy and exhaustion. Pistachios, however, with their blend of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, help regulate blood sugar. They slow the absorption of carbohydrates from other foods eaten at the same time, keeping energy release steady rather than sharp and fleeting. For seniors, this steadiness can make daily activities from walking to socializing to simply thinking clearly far more manageable and enjoyable. Another overlooked aspect of pistachios is portion control. Their shell naturally slows down the pace of eating. Unlike chips or candy that can be eaten mindlessly, pistachios ask for a pause, with each shell removed. This simple act of slowing allows the body time to recognize fullness. For seniors, who may be managing weight or appetite changes, this built-in pacing is a small but powerful advantage. It turns eating into a mindful act, one that satisfies both hunger and awareness. Pistachios also bring additional nutrients alongside protein and fiber. They contain potassium, which supports heart and muscle function, and antioxidants like lutein, which are beneficial for eye health. While these are valuable, the core gift of pistachios remains their ability to balance two essential needs, keeping digestion smooth and energy stable. These two factors may not sound dramatic, but together, they determine the ease of everyday life. A comfortable stomach, steady energy, and reliable strength create the foundation for independence and well-being. The beauty of pistachios lies in their simplicity. They require no preparation beyond cracking the shell, and they fit into both sweet and savory dishes. A handful in the afternoon can replace processed snacks, while a sprinkle over yogurt or salad adds both flavor and function. For seniors, whose routines may already feel full, pistachios are a small change with outsized benefits. Choosing pistachios is not about chasing a miracle food, but about recognizing a quiet ally. Digestion and energy may not capture as much attention as dramatic health conditions, yet they are the very areas that shape daily comfort. Pistachios step into this role naturally, offering not just crunch but a deeper kind of nourishment. But as much as nuts like pistachios bring benefits, it is just as important to understand the flip side. Some nuts may not serve seniors as well. While certain varieties can uplift health, others can quietly create challenges. Exploring which nuts to avoid is just as essential, and that is where the next page will take us.